In the Uttar Karnataka district of Krishna, Samna Thama Naik, a group admin of a group called the Balse Boys, and Ganesh, a person who posted supposedly inflammatory content about the Prime Minister, were arrested, put behind bars. Now, the critical question is, and remember, in all that we put out on social media, email, any digital platform, we are governed by laws like the Information Technology Act, which says you can't post defamatory, inflammatory content, which is well and good. But here you have a rather unprecedented situation where governments in Jammu and Kashmir, governments also in Jharkhand, governments now in Karnataka are saying that if you are the group administrator and if there's any post on that group which violates the law, you will be hauled up and put behind bars. On the newsroom in a moment from now, I will ask, how fair is that? Before that, here's the story.
You could be in big trouble if you've got a WhatsApp group. Take a look at these two individuals, both from Karnataka and both in Soot. One for sharing morphed pictures of Prime Minister Modi and the other for spreading pornography. If you're the admin of a WhatsApp group, pay close attention. Just days after a national warning to WhatsApp group admins over content shared on their watch, there was first blood on Tuesday, when Karnataka police arrested the admin of the Balse WhatsApp group. 30-year-old Krishna Samantama Nair was arrested after a member of the group posted an image of Prime Minister Modi morphed and made to look obscene. Caught in the eye of the storm is Belgavi BJP MLC Mahantesh Kavatagimat after he forwarded a PDF file containing over 50 images of porn stars to his WhatsApp contacts, including Belgavi Media Force, a group of which politicians, senior police officials and journalists are members. Disgusted with the MLC's act, many group members quit while the admin removed him from the group. As the incident created an instant furor, the MLC switched off his phone and remained untraceable. Mahantesh is believed to have apologized later and called it a mistake in his defense. The new law holds group administrators culpable for the content, but only after an FIR is filed.
Sir, what BJP MLC have posted some of the pictures in a media group. How would you react to that?
I do not know about it. I do not know about it.
With rumours, fake videos and morphed photos shared on WhatsApp groups directly under scrutiny for their ability to fan tensions, the government's message is clear and delivered. If you're a WhatsApp group admin, anything shared in the group is on you. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, I happen to be the administrator of multiple WhatsApp groups in our office, where our different editorial teams are present as members. There are also family groups, school, college, university. Now, if some person on that group posts something, suddenly the administrator also could end up in jail. Does that make any sense at all? Let me tell you what all could land you in jail. Morphed photographs, fake videos, political rumors, fake news, any supposedly communal content, and any material which could incite tension. And you are culpable even if you only happen to be the administrator. Remember, we hold no brief for those who are posting such content. If you know that something is wrong and you're deliberately doing this to stoke communal tension, for example, of course you must be hauled over the coals. But what if you only happen to be the administrator? Is that at all fair? Here's what you could be culpable of: overseeing the spread of hatred, amplifying rumors and fake news, overseeing the spread of malicious content. Joining us on the Newsroom Showdown tonight to discuss this very burning issue, I want to begin by introducing Dr. Arvind Gupta, the National Head of the Information Technology Wing of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Squaring off against him in the studio, Ankit Lal. He heads the IT cell of the Aam Aadmi Party. With us also on this broadcast is Pawan Duggal, one of India's foremost cyber law experts. Swati Chaturvedi is an author, analyst. She's just written a book, I Am a Troll. Welcome to all our guests. I want to go across to Arvind Gupta first, because this has happened in Jammu and Kashmir, for example, where we were told that several of the administrators are in POK. They're sending out information about where stone pelters should congregate, and therefore administrators will be held accountable, the groups being shut down. But tell me this, Arvind. If somebody on one of the multiple WhatsApp groups where I am present and I'm the administrator posts some nonsense, go after him. I understand that. If he's done something wrong, let the law come down on him. But why hold the administrator responsible? How does this make sense, Arvind?
Well, I think there are multiple issues here. When any content is traveling on an electronic medium, whether it may be something called a WhatsApp group, and imagine a WhatsApp group today has 200 members, 256 members. It is not a private information any longer, it's semi-public. And the laws clearly state that if you are facilitating the spread of malicious information, which can cause riots, national security issues, public disorder, then that content is the person who's spreading that content and person who's facilitating that content is liable. Now there is the Intermediary Liability Act that we have in this country. If the WhatsApp administrator, in my opinion, removes that content removes the person posting the wrong content, he or she may not be liable. But if they encourage that, then I think the liability stays. So, but here I would like to make a point. The case of Jammu Kashmir, for example, I think a lot of content is causing a lot of fake content, a lot of information is being used. WhatsApp is being used to communicate on a very secure channel which cannot be traced, and administrators often are from people across the border, and they're inciting people to do wrong things against the nation. So there is a case for WhatsApp to be, in a way, those groups to be banned and shut down / whatever else the government is doing. Coming to the
I hear you.
point,
well, one at a time. I hear you. You made an important point, which is that in several places like Jammu and Kashmir, Ankit, administrators of these WhatsApp groups are telling stone pelters where they should congregate. Terrorists who've been holed up in a particular house have managed to flee because civilians crowded that house. This is done through WhatsApp. So you can't say it's a private medium for one.
I'll give you a plausible scenario. Like Arvind said, somebody sitting across the border is managing the group, and let's take the example of Jammu and Kashmir. Somebody sitting across the border can add Arvind to the group, make him an admin, remove himself from the group. Still the content will be posted and Arvind will be held responsible. Is that right?
Okay, let Arvind respond.
No, but it's a very simple, Ankit Lal has posed a very simple question. First of all, I did want to comment on this. Technology today is moving at such a fast pace that the laws and even the rules are not able to keep pace with that. Having said that, if I am being made part of a group that I am not comfortable with, and as Ankit says, and I'm sure he understands how WhatsApp works, is to get out of that group immediately. I have the administrative rights. I need to remove myself from that group.
Arvind, you will very well know, you and I both are part of thousands of groups. Is it humanly possible for you to manage the group that you are part of?
Let's bring in other panelists as well. I want to go across to Swati Chaturvedi, because the government has a point. This has happened in Jammu and Kashmir. This has happened now in Karnataka, where inflammatory material about the Prime Minister was put out. It's happened in Maharashtra, in Latur. So there is a problem. The WhatsApp, for example, when the exodus happened from Bengaluru, WhatsApp was one of the primary drivers. All manner of inflammatory, malicious content posted on WhatsApp. The government now coming to the view that administrators should be held accountable. Do you think that's fair and just, or do you think this is a terrible misunderstanding of how WhatsApp works and it simply makes no sense?
Rahul, I think it's a terrible overreach of the law. I completely agree that there's incitement in the US. Let's take the US, which is, one of the freest free speech laws. but there, hundreds of people are arrested for incitement every year. But here how are you holding one admin? I mean, if you're saying across the border, they can add on anyone, and you're leaving it basically again in the hands of a police inspector. The minute an FIR is registered, the person is in trouble. So I think this is a completely ridiculous overreach of the law. By all means, please act against, morph videos, fake WhatsApp messages, there's lots of incitement going on. But to kind of make an admin responsible, I don't know. I think it's a very, very stupid overreach of the law. And the law is clearly not keeping up with the technology.
Calling this a stupid overreach of the law, I want to bring in Pawan Dugal because there are law enforcement concerns. Of that, there can be no doubt. We've seen WhatsApp being used to inflame very dangerous or very volatile situations. Yet, as Ankit said, he can make you administrator of a group which could be saying all manner of things about gods, about the Prime Minister, anything which could end up getting into trouble, and then soon you'll have the police knocking at your door.
But the position in the law that's currently being invoked actually came across by means of the 2008 amendments. And this all emanates out of a very broad and oversimplistic definition that we have given to this new concept known as that of an intermediary. For example, Section 2(1)(w) of the IT Act defines intermediary to just mean any person who, on behalf of another person, receives, stores, or transmits any record or provides any service with respect to that record. So clearly, it's a very, very broad definition, and all WhatsApp administrators become network service providers, content service providers are intermediaries. Now the law says, if you're an intermediary, please exercise due diligence. If you do that, then I'm not going to make you liable. But if you cannot show that you exercise due diligence, then you will be liable in the same capacity as a co-accused. And further, as part of due diligence, you have to not only comply with the Information Technology Act, also the Information Technology Rules 2011. And
no, but you're once again, you're saying that the WhatsApp group must, the administrator must exercise due diligence. That makes it seem like the job of an editor. Now, essentially, for example, it's my job to check the stories before they go on air, ensure that the stories are in order, but that's all I do, and I can do that only for one set of stories. Now, suddenly there are WhatsApp groups, college, school, university, all kinds of people putting out all kinds of stuff. How can I possibly, Arvind, try and ensure that it essentially means that you're editor of all the WhatsApp groups, everybody is then an editor? That makes no sense, it's not even practical. See.
No. So this is definitely the new position of technology that it is in today. It's not, a lot of things are not practical, and there is overreach. For example, the due process of the law for example, in Karnataka, arrest was probably not followed. I am not aware of all the process of law that was followed or not followed, but there has to be a supervisor who has to approve such a thing. Secondly, when you become part of multiple groups in general, as Pawan is saying, and you have somebody, let's say Ankit is part of thousands of group, I am not, but he keeps giving control of administrator. You need to exercise certain due diligence, and if you see a general tenor of a group being misused for certain things, you need to either come out of that group or or make sure
exercise discretion. Swati Chaturvedi, you agree with Arvind that you could be in a group?
No.
Okay, let Arvind complete. Okay,
no, let me make one very important point. Let's say you are a group administrator in an office group, and somebody does a wrong sexual overture to another employee in the group. What will be what is the role of that administrator / senior person in that group? And that same rules apply everywhere.
Okay. Let Swati respond that if as administrator you're seeing something wrong happen in front of you, whether it's a sexual advance, whether it's an inflammatory comment, a defamatory post, you must act. You must take that person out, delete that content. You have to exercise discretion. Let Swati respond.
Well, obviously, Rahul, I mean, that's a bit of a no-brainer. If somebody is making sexual advances, somebody is defaming someone, slandering someone, sharing incitement videos, clearly you have to act. I mean, is that even a position to take? But to make an administrator of a WhatsApp group exercise the same rights as, say, a resident editor for a newspaper is an overreach. And the thing is, it's such a broad, definition of the law. How do you know? I mean, there is going to be one inspector deciding what is inflammatory. It could be, something could be inflammatory in my eyes. It could not maybe be inflammatory in your eyes. So, we need to make sure that the solutions, let's not break a butterfly on a wheel here, which is exactly what we seem to be doing.
Okay, I think that's important. Pawan Dugal, you made this point as well, that you must exercise discretion. That essentially means that I must check every single WhatsApp post. Now, there are lots of posts where there's all manner of inane conversation taking place, people sending forwards. Now, let's take, for example, the case of fake news. How does the administrator know whether something is fake or not? Social media is full of all kinds of stories. A lot of them are untrue. How does the administrator know? Suddenly it turns out to be untrue. There's a problem because of it, and you land the administrator in jail. Is that at all fair, Pawan?
I think somewhere down the line we require a rationalization of the law. Mind you, this provision of the law came in the year 2008 and the rules for the same came in the year 2011. That's much prior to the advent and the ascent and the popularity of WhatsApp. So very quickly we have to realize that the law is saying, as an administrator, tell all the members in your group that they will not misuse your group or the platform for the purposes of uploading any content that's in violation of the law, and get their consent. If despite that they go ahead and misuse, then you're going to be out because you can prove that you've exercised due diligence. But it's a long drawn out process. In the meanwhile, at a prima facie stage, as a group administrator, you're going to be sucked into legal liability, into potential criminal exposure. And I think that's one area that the government of India now needs to come up with definitive regulations in terms of trying to clarify the position. Let's not put
both Arvind and Pawan Dugal are of the view that you must exercise discretion. If something goes wrong, you must show at least, or have as evidence that you moved out of that group,
a few years earlier, when Kapil Sibal was the information technology minister, he was trying to hold the platforms accountable for the kind of content that was being posted. Arvind's defense reminds me of the same. At that point, Kapil Sibal was saying that every content that's posted on a platform, the platform needs to hold some kind of accountability for that. Right now, Arvind is trying to say that every admin of a group needs to look onto each content, check whether it is good or verify that, and after verification, take a call whether the person
Arvind
is posting
Gupta, final words. Respond to the question that Ankit asked.
It's not humanly possible.
Are you trying to do a Sibal, he says?
He is doing a Sibal. I'm not saying that he's trying to. He is doing a Sibal.
See the filtering. Can I just laugh at it first of all? Ankit doesn't understand what Sibal was trying to do. It's called pre-filtering of the content. Let's laugh at that first. Number two, the very big difference between a WhatsApp world is WhatsApp is a platform. They don't store any information, so there can't be any pre-filtering of the content from WhatsApp side. WhatsApp is a communicator which communicates from one person to another. The content gets stored on your phone, not on any servers. 2, 3, it's very secure as a communication. 4, please understand, you opt into a group. You are participating in a group as opt-in. You have a choice of coming out. There is a big difference between the two. And please exercise that. And I am again making a very big clarification. These are provisions to be exercised under where there is national security issues, there is public disorder, rioting, religious disharmony is being tried to be created. Nothing else. Freedom of speech should prevail. Absolutely.
Okay, Swati Chaturvedi, final words.
For all that
Arvind argues you have to exercise discretion. You have the right to opt in. You have equally the right to opt out. And if you are there, you are then responsible for what's happening on your watch. Final words, Swati.
But Rahul, this is very fundamental. You have the right to opt out, but you don't have to be pushed into jail. You don't have to be sent off to jail because you're an admin of a WhatsApp group. Yes, please opt out by all means. I'm for national security, please. I mean, it's a complete, again, no-brainer. But that doesn't mean you're marched off to jail for something that you're not responsible for. I mean, I don't understand, this is really literally, again, let me repeat, it's breaking a butterfly on a wheel. The law is overreaching to another level.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. This is a very, very contentious debate. You'll be hearing a lot more about it. This arrest in Karnataka is sparking off what could potentially be a trend. governments in multiple states have indicated that they seem to share this thought that WhatsApp groups can cause trouble. Administrators, if they do so consistently, if there's a group that is consistently causing trouble, by all means, I think it's okay. If you realize that a
no
WhatsApp
doubt that WhatsApp
administrator
groups can cause trouble. There's
sure,
no
and
doubt
if an
about
administrator is again and again part of a group that's causing trouble, like Arvind said about the stone pelters in Kashmir, there you have a case. But the problem, Arvind, is that you've got police personnel who aren't necessarily very nuanced, who will just see what's happened. One random video, one random post, which
if the same standards are applied to BJP-owned groups, most of the people would be in jail.
You're saying BJP people will be in jail?
BJP people would be in jail. Some of the MPs would be in jail. Some of the MPs would be in jail.
So I'll let Arvind respond to this. He says all your lot
some of the MPs would be in jail, let alone
you're saying MPs will also be in jail.
Some of the MPs
I'm out of time. That's a troll bait from Ankit.
Sangeet Som went to jail for this.
I think
Sangeet Som went to jail for this. You know that as a fact.
I think
well,
okay,
I know you're falling.
I just said something.
I know you'd fall
that he subscribes to so many groups that he's not part of. I have no comment to say that. He's the one who's doing all this WhatsApp trolling and all. I have no comments to make on that. It's a matter of laughable content that he himself has confessed that he participates in so many WhatsApp groups.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. This is something we'll hear a lot more about. I'm uncomfortable at multiple levels. If you can prove that this is happening again and again through the same administrators, terrorists, Maoists, stone pelters, that's reasonable to hold the accounts and the administrators responsible. If, however, it's a one-off, one objectionable post, catch the person who put out that post by all means. But to go after the administrator, that could be an overreach. You're giving a lot of power to the police. They don't always use their discretion. Ankit Lal, Swati Chaturvedi, Pawan Duggal, Arvind Gupta for joining us on the newsroom. Thank you very much.